Welcome back to my movie review series. Today, I'll be doing the review on the 2003 Disney and Pixar movie, and this one is Finding Nemo. The movie is premiered on May 30, 2003. The movie is airing on ABC, Disney Channel, Toon Disney, Disney XD, Disney Junior, originally streamed on Disney Life, and streaming on Disney+, Hulu, Apple TV, and Amazon Prime Video. Nemo is a young clownfish who lives with his father Marlin in an anemone in the Great Barrier Reef. Nemo, despite being hampered by a lame right fin, is eager to explore life around the ocean. Marlin, however, is overprotective of him, having lost his wife Coral and all their other eggs in a barracuda attack, leaving Nemo as his only child. On Nemo's first day of school, Marlin unintentionally embarrasses him, and while Marlin is distracted with the teacher, Mr. Ray, Nemo defiantly sneaks away from the reef toward a speedboat, where he is captured by a pair of scuba divers. Marlin tries to chase the boat and meets Dory, a blue tang who suffers from acute short-term memory loss, who offers her help. During an encounter with three sharks who have sworn to abstain from meeting other fish, Marlin notices a diver's mask that fell from the boat that took Nemo. Marlin and Dory fight over the mask, giving Dory a nosebleed, which sends one of the sharks into a feeding frenzy, and Marlin and Dory narrowly escape, but are knocked unconscious when the sharks accidentally set off a ring of old naval mines. Meanwhile, Nemo is placed in an aquarium in a dentist's office in Sydney, Australia, where he meets the tank gang, including Yellow Tang Bubbles, Starfish Peach, Cleaner Shrimp Jock, Blowfish Bloat, Royal Groomy Gurgil, and Damselfish Deb, led by Gil, a Moorish idol. That night, Nemo learns he is to be given to the dentist's young niece, Darla, whose rough treatment has killed most of her previous fish. Gil devises a risky escape plan. Nemo, who can fit inside the aquarium's filter tube, will jam the filter with a pebble, forcing the dentist to put the fish into plastic bags while he cleans the tank, giving them the opportunity to roll out the window and into the harbor. Nemo attempts the maneuver, but fails and is almost killed, leaving Gil guilt-ridden. Marlin and Dory wake up unharmed, but the mask falls into a deep-sea trench. Swimming after it, Marlin is chased by an anglerfish, while Dory reads the address and recites it repeatedly to commit it to memory. Dory and Marlin receive directions from a school of moonfish, but Marlin disregards their instructions to take what he believes is a safer route, leading them into a forest of jellyfish where they end up unconscious from all the jellyfish stings. Marlin and Dory wake up to find themselves on the East Australian current with a group of friendly sea turtles including Crush and his son, Squirt. Marlin tells them about his quest, impressing them, and the story is relayed across the ocean, all the way to the dentist's office, where a pelican named Nigel tells the tank gang, now it's to Marlin and Dory to reach Sydney to get Nemo and bring him home before Darla arrives. The story is amazingly well written and paced, is very heartwarming, suspenseful, adventurous, and comedic, has a gorgeous underwater world to explore, and contains a great moral. In fact, the moral is more directed towards adults, which is a unique twist as most animated films have morals geared towards kids. The film is very heartwarming and dramatic, and leads to some pretty uplifting, heart-wrenching, and tear-jerking moments like the aftermath of the barracuda attack, the relationship between Marlin and Nemo, Marlin's story going around the sea until it reaches Sydney, and the aftermath of the climax. There's also a great amount of suspenseful and intense moments like the barracuda attack, Marlin chasing after the boat to save Nemo, Marlin and Dory evading a crazed Bruce, the anglerfish chase, the duo trying to get through the jellyfish, them getting swallowed by the whale and trying to figure a way out, the tank gang's escape attempts, the seagulls chasing them while they're in Nigel's mouth, the craziness in Sherman's office, and the climax with the giant fishing net. There's also a decent amount of comedy in the mix as well, and while it may not be as comedic as the past Pixar films, it thankfully delivers some pretty funny moments like the Shark AA meeting, the banter between the tank gang, and Dory's goofy nature. The animation is absolutely gorgeous and really captures the look and feeling of the ocean. The characters and sea creatures all have amazing designs and very solid movements. The backdrops and settings are beautifully well crafted and detailed, and there are some stellar effects like the lighting, how everything moves underwater, and even the particles in the water. The characters are all incredibly likable, well developed, have solid chemistry, and can be pretty funny. Marlon is a pretty likable and relatable protagonist as he is down to earth and cynical, and while he may be too overprotective and nervous, it's due to the fact that he suffered a traumatic event and wants to make sure his only child is safe. But he does truly love his son, and does form a strong friendship with Dory. Dory is a pretty funny character as she's very talkative and upbeat, wants Marlon to be as calm as possible during their journey, and while she can be pretty clueless, she's not stupid. She's also incredibly friendly and easygoing, and delivers the majority of the film's humor with her hyperactive and silly nature. Nemo is also pretty relatable as he's been sheltered for most of his life, and is curious about the bigger ocean world. And him snapping at his father in the beginning, while it may look like he's being a brat, he does make a solid point, and he is usually pretty nice and friendly. The Tank Gang are all incredibly likable, have great chemistry, can be pretty funny, and are great friends to Nemo. Gil is the stern and cunning leader, who also acts as a solid mentor figure to Nemo. Peach is very calm and comforting, Bubbles and Deb are likably crazy, Bloat is pretty bombastic, Gurgle is likably paranoid, and Jacques is pretty funny with his minimal dialogue and pompous personality. The other characters Marlon, Dory, and Nemo encounters are all also incredibly memorable and likable, like the abstinent shark gang consisting of Bruce, Anchor, and Chum, the chillin' laid-back Crush and his son Squirt, the enthusiastic Mr. Ray, the friendly and brave Nigel, and the snarky school of Moonfish. Philip Sherman is an interesting antagonist, as even though to the fish he's an antagonist as he took Nemo, but in his mind, he thought he was saving his life and did have good intentions, and he plans to give him to his niece as a gift. So he's not really a bad guy, or a bad person in general, he just doesn't know the context from their perspective. He can also be pretty funny at times. As for Darla, yes, she's an unhinged and reckless girl who doesn't know how to properly take care of fish. So yes, she is a complete terror to the fish, but that's pretty much the point of her character as she is an antagonist. The voice acting is amazingly well done and leads to several great performances like Albert Brooks as Marlon, Ellen DeGeneres as Dory, Alexander Gould as Nemo, Willem Dafoe as Gil, Jeffrey Rush as Nigel, and many more. The music by Thomas Newman is incredibly well done and is very dramatic, uplifting, intense, and heartwarming. It also really fits well with the ocean world. Verdict: 9.5 out of 10. What can I say that everyone else hasn't already said about this movie? It's an animated masterpiece that's definitely worth a watch.